Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. This is for the December 2019 Tarotoscope predictive for the sign of Virgo. So those with a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Virgo would want to watch this video. Those that want to cross-watch because you're dealing with a Virgo, feel free to do that. If love comes up in this reading, then those with a Venus with a placement in Virgo would want to be maybe paying attention to this video also, but that's only if love shows up in the reading. So I am shuffling the cards. My name is Dan. This is Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, the last reading I just did was a little bit mind-blowing for Leo. I had to eat after that. I was like, oh my god, I need something to eat. So ways you can support the channel: please like, share, comment, subscribe, either to my Facebook business page or to the YouTube channel, and cross-subscribe, please. Like, so if you're on Facebook, go over to YouTube, look me up, and hit the subscribe button on YouTube, even if you watch me on Facebook, and vice versa. If you watch me on YouTube, go over to my business page and give it a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Those are the two platforms that I'm predominantly on. The newest platform that I'm on for social media is Instagram. You can follow me at Engelgeist333. That's new for me, and I appreciate that. If you like these videos, please leave me a comment, especially once they're posted up on the YouTube channel. In the comment section, I can answer any questions you might have about the monthly. If there's something that sort of doesn't resonate or does, please let me know. And I'm also available for private readings, and you can gift those private readings, and all that information will be included in the description box, or is linked in my bio on Instagram. Once this video finally posts after going live, once it gets posted and updated with the description, current, and everything, then it'll have all of my contact information in there, or you can message me at the Facebook business page. So right now I'm just giving this deck a really good shuffle and asking the powers that be, Spirit, the angels, to sort of bring me what Virgos need to know for the month of December. Let's see what we've got going on. So this first card is sort of like the default setting card. This is kind of like the theme of the month, or where you're kind of going to find yourself going back and forth from throughout the month. This will be sort of your, I guess, like where you resonate most during the month of December. So it gives us a little insight. Oh, beautiful. So this is the Strength card. This is Major Arcana, so this kicks off a little bit with a bang. It's funny that it's a lion after the Leo reading that I just did. This to me feels like that there is actually Leo's reading. I don't mean to focus so much on it, but there was a sort of a pulled back aspect to their first card, and I feel that same pulled back aspect here. It feels like there's in this Strength card, when I look at this lion back here, it feels like they're sort of waiting, like sort of trying to make a decision as to when to sort of pounce or move forward. You have the Strength. It feels like we've been dealing with some situations that are sort of long term, I feel like, as I'm looking at this card, because it's making me, it's drawing my attention to the pillar here, which is making me think of like sort of long-term situations that have required a lot of strength from us, might require a little bit more. There are some new ideas, some ideas that possibly we want to bring forward into the new year with us, or start to create in the new year, but we're not sure as to when the right time would be to do that. So if any of my Virgos are feeling a little bit like creative, or they've got something that they want to sort of execute, but they're not really sure, that's completely okay. You have the strength to sort of make the right decision and wait it out until the time is right. And that is sort of similar to what I was feeling with the Priestess card in the Leo reading, but maybe the Virgos are in some sort of period of kind of introspection and waiting to figure out when is the right time to bring forward this next phase of whatever it is that they want to create. This egg here is making me think about the creation, right? And it's sort of at the center focus here is when do we want to sort of bring this forth and make it a reality. So I think that you're going to keep kind of going back and forth from this place. I do get a sense that there's sort of a little bit of anger with this card. I'm not sure if my Virgos are a little bit in a place of, how do I want to put this? Like, to me, it feels like when I look at this card, I feel like this lion knows something needs to change, right? So what I'm going to say is the Virgos know that something needs to change, but they need all the facts first. And before they go about like investing their time or their energy in the month of December, they're going to sort of wait it out and be the stronger silent type and kind of gather all the information first. It feels to me like, as I'm looking at this card, like Virgos have maybe been dealing with a little bit of their fair amount of, I don't know, for lack of a better word, I want to say bullshit, leading up to the now, to this December. And so there might be still a little bit of like slow burn energy or anger, maybe resentment. I'm not sure. It's the sort of the orange color of this card that's making me go down that road and making me feel that sort of thing, that sort of feeling that we might be in this place where we're not sure exactly when and what. It's not that we're not sure what needs to change, it's like when we go about making the changes that need to take place so that we can be happier. Does that make sense to my Virgos? I hope it does, because that's sort of what I'm sensing, is that there's this like holding back and continuing to be strong in throughout the month of December so that you can start something new in 2020, but like I could just get this distinct impression as I'm looking at this strength card that there's a lot of my Virgos that aren't really happy right now. There's something that sort of maybe you've been dealing with or facing that isn't necessarily the way you want it to be, and trying to get it to where you want it to be so that you can bring about this new opportunity, this new idea, this new job, this new relationship, this new whatever it is that this egg represents for you guys, right? Because each one of you might be something different. It could be a new car, it could be a new job, it could be a new, relationship, whatever it is that you guys want to bring to the forefront or bring to the surface and create new. You're sort of having to kind of clear away some of the older stuff that you want to get rid of before starting this next endeavor. So that's the strength part of this, is I feel like you guys are kind of having to hold out just a little bit longer and deal with sort of maybe situations that you don't necessarily want to deal with, but you are strong enough to deal with it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like when I look at this card, I feel exasperated or a little bit annoyed. So I'm not sure where my Virgos are at, but you guys can definitely tune in and let me know. Um, so let's go to the next card. This next card is the foundation. This tells me sort of what's been leading up for the last few months and as to why things are the way they are right now. So this is the Eight of Crystals. This is synthesis. And this card has to do with, crystals has to do with sort of, it's similar to swords. It's the element of air or the mental realm. And to me, when I look at this card, it's all about sort of feeling a little bit like wonky. Like communication has been like off for you guys. And I would say that this has been the last few months, but especially with this last retrograde, I think maybe that's also some of this strength that you guys are needing to like kind of tap into to finish out the year, because it's been maybe a long year or a long, I'm kind of figuring out that this might be the last 4, 5, 6 months for some of my Virgos where things haven't been quite lining up, or you've been feeling a little bit off communication wise. It's sort of like trying to tune into the right radio station or the right channel to be able to get your ideas across and get sort of the support that you need. It's not that you can't deliver and supply yourself with that support. I see that here in the strength card, but it feels like your communication with the outside world, you've been working on it and trying to get it sort of balanced and in line, and it's not quite hit yet. It's not quite fully made sense or balanced itself out just yet. It may actually, as I'm looking at this strength card, it might be balancing out in the month of December. That's the strength card, but there is this sort of frustration that I see with this strength card that says to me, like, you guys have been in this sort of, I don't know if I want to call it a struggle, but in this sort of trying to finesse your connection to sort of, and your communication with the world around you. And because of that, sort of like everything feeling a little bit wonky or slightly off, you're just kind of a little bit perturbed and sort of like, oh Jesus, do I want to do this now or do I want to wait? And you're kind of like gathering the information again, or like sort of holding off and making sure that everything is right because things have been off base leading up to this point. I hope that makes sense. The next card is your soul or spirit card and what it's wanting in the month of December, what it's trying to work towards. So this is the Four of Worlds. This is commencement. This commencement ties in nicely to this egg that I see here in the Strength card. This speaks to me about the idea of worlds deals with, like, similar to Pentacles, it deals with the element of earth, which is Virgo's home, right? But it's also like the idea of material things, jobs, wealth, relationships, sort of our general overall abundance on a material level. The Four of Worlds is like we want stability in this arena. We're looking for stability in this arena. We're looking for something that we want to have that provides us with the sort of stability and the enjoyment uh, that is like ours to be had or our own. Does that make sense? And I think that when I'm looking at this Strength card, it's like we've been maybe living by other people's rules for too long. That's sort of this Eight of Crystals, like trying to adapt to other people's ways of communicating, other people's ways of being, meeting other people's needs before our own. And because of that, we found ourselves in this place where we're sort of biting our tongue in the month of December and using our strength because we have it. But what we really want, or maybe what's causing some of that resentment a little bit, or annoyance, whatever this energy is that I'm feeling here for some of my Virgos, it's because you want to. There's a deeper level spirit centered desire to get things rolling, to get the ball rolling, to get this sort of idea out there, or this new thing that we want. Like, like as I'm looking at these three cards, I almost want to say like fuck everybody else. Excuse my language, but fuck everybody else. I want to do my thing, is what these cards feel like to me. And so, with this being in your spirit space, it feels like your engine is revving, but you're not going anywhere just yet. You're holding back. And I'm not exactly sure why, other than the fact that maybe things in the months preceding have been sort of so off that you're afraid if you start it now, it might be a false start. Therefore, you're holding back in the month of December and not fully coming forward with it as of yet. Now let's keep going with these cards and see where we're going to end up. The next two cards are the outside influences. These are people or events. Sometimes they can be things more vague, like belief systems or energies that are affecting us. So your first card is the Six of Crystals, which is confusion, which this ties in similar to this Eight of Crystals, which is synthesis, which is about trying to find balance within our communication and our mental, like how we understand the world, where we fit in the world, that sort of thing. Um, and working towards it, yet not quite achieving it, right? Up in the last few months, maybe just feeling like, I don't know, like we don't fully understand those around us or they don't fully understand us, kind of thing, right? So it looks like there's more opportunities for those situations to happen. That's what this card says to me. Only because this is the confusion card. It does feel like there's the possibility for things to create anger, sadness, mixed emotions. So it feels like, and this might be why it's withdrawing on our strength this month for my Virgos. This might be why you're holding back this month, is because there is going to be more situations that create this sort of disconnection. I sort of feel like a disconnection here, like we've felt disconnected for the last few months, and some of the situations around us might also induce that, right? With this Six of Crystals card. There might be clean breaks that even need to happen. As I look at this lightning bolt that goes down through this yellow part, we might need to actually break away from certain situations completely altogether. That could be relationships for some of you, that could be jobs for some of you, that could be, friendships that are like maybe not working for you anymore. But whatever that may be for you, whatever is causing you confusion, you might have to really like sort of shift your focus, utilize your strength, and pull back to sort of get away from these situations in the month of December. Let's see what the other outside influence is. Okay, beautiful. So this is the Guardian card, and this is the Woman of Crystals, and this was the end out card for, who was this by month's end? Shoot, was it the Geminis? I think this might have been the card for Gemini, but I'm not the outcome card for Gemini. And the only reason why I say this is because it makes me think of this would be an empowered female that might be having an opportunity to help you, that may be in sort of a position where she is balanced, where she is centered, where she is grounded and able to sort of help you to kind of come forward and clear away some of these confusing situations that are outside of your control or don't feel like they're serving you, that they feel like they're like more of a pain in the ass. Like I'm getting this sort of like rolling my head energy from this card, right? Well, this lady here to me feels like this is the other aspect of that energy. It sort of feels like balanced, grounded. This could be opportunities. This doesn't necessarily have to be a specific person. It certainly could represent. I believe that it was Gemini. You'd have to go and watch Gemini's video to see their outcome card. But if you come across a really stable Gemini, um, uh, in the month of December, don't be surprised. She would probably be female for some of you. But also, this could be opportunities or situations where we get a choice. We get a choice where, like, a situation comes up, say, at work or in a relationship, where we get to operate from this chaos or we get to operate from this place, which is that of clarity, grounding, and sort of centeredness. Does that make sense? But I really do feel like there is sort of maybe a female influence, quite possibly an air sign, that will be around you that can offer you support, guidance, and clarity in times of confusion and chaos. And you want to get beyond this period because I really feel like this being in your spirit space says to me that there's something good coming. I also see that with this egg in the strength card. It feels like you guys are like the picture that I'm getting in my head is like you're waiting for the bus to come to take you away from all of this. And you will, like the bus will come. It's just a matter of waiting it out until you can get there, right? So, I hope that's making sense to my Virgos. I don't know if that's a great analogy, but that's sort of what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. It's just like you guys are like gritting your teeth and going, oh, geez, it's just this year's going to be done soon. This year's going to be done soon. And then I can move on and then I can get on to bigger and better things. But there's going to be a few things in the month of December that are going to be like, ah. So turn to this woman or be like this woman. Take these opportunities or this energy or whatever, however the universe provides this, Queen of Swords sort of energy. However it comes to you in the month of December, utilize it as best you can because you're going to need it. And then this is the final outcomes card. Now, this card is not necessarily set in stone. It just sort of lets me know sort of where most of you guys are going to end up by the end of the month, barring that nothing major changes. But the beauty of this is that because it's not set in stone, you have free will and free choice to make choices and decisions to affect this outcome. So you don't have to be stuck to this card by any means. And if this card is beneficial or good, you can take heart in the fact that you're naturally sort of migrating towards this without any major changes needing to sort of be made, okay? So the card that we have as your end of the month outcome is the Child of Wands, which is Seeker. Now, I like that this card is here because it is about like sort of Wands is about the element of fire and the spirit. And child to me is always a place of sort of being educated or being in a place of learning. And this being seeker even speaks even more about seeking a depth from within oneself. This is about, we're calling upon this strength throughout the month of December because maybe we're dealing with situations that are feeling a little bit like sort of confusing or outside of our control. But as we call upon that strength and we start to see that strength for what it is and we allow that strength to kind of hold us together through the month. We might rely on others or other, people outside of us that are more grounded or centered during this time, or we might, try and channel that energy into this sort of a card, into this sort of a feeling, and call upon the energy of this Woman of Crystals to sort of face the situations that might be confusing or chaotic, or just still offering us that sort of offness that maybe we feel as though we've been experiencing. as we do that, what ends up happening, I feel like, is this secret card where we start to go inward throughout the month. And by the month's end, we're really at this place of sort of this spiritual connection to ourselves and who we are. And granted, that feels a little bit scary, right? Because this is sort of a child card. There's room to grow here. But it is about sort of, and it does feel a little bit in the dark, but as we start to let go of some of these situations that are no longer serving us or that are causing us confusion and distress, we have to move forward with this strength, right? We have the strength to move forward. So, any reluctance or any sort of holding back, if we continue to hold back and not utilize our strength, this to me feels a little bit scarier and a little bit more unknown, right? But the unknown is never a bad thing. The unknown is always an opportunity to grow, hence the child aspect of this, and hence the wands aspect, which is this to me is growth of the spirit. So there will be spiritual growth and learning that will take place in the month of December for you guys. And I think that it all kind of keys into this commencement card, which I'm really getting a hit that this commencement is about sort of where we go into 2020. Um, I really think like if I could just boil this down for you, the phrase that's coming into my mind is that I feel like you guys have the strength and the capability, yet you don't believe it because the last few scenarios that you guys have been in have been off communication wise. Like you've not been understood, you've not been validated, you've not been leading up to this point, right? And so, in an effort to kind of get what you want, you're still getting these kind of wonky situations, and you need to sort of shift that and know that you're stronger than these situations. From that place, you may have to break free of some of this stuff. And as you break free of some of this stuff, you might find new aspects of yourself on a deeper spiritual level that you have to rely upon or grow or get to know. But doing that will help you to move into the future from a place of sort of spiritual centeredness, right? Yet unknown territory. And I think that's not a bad thing in this reading. I think that that's actually an exciting thing, but you have to be excited about it. You have to sort of step forward in this strength and go after it and remove yourself from these situations so that you can go about creating what we have here in this soul space, which is this commencement, this Four of Worlds. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Let me know in the comments below once this video is posted if it does or doesn't, if it resonates or not. If y'all have any specific questions, you can feel free to leave them in the comments. You can also contact me for a private reading if you wanted a little bit more insight on this topic or any other topic in your life. That's always available to you. And I look forward to seeing you guys next month for next month's Tarot Scope. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.